So what were you...
Cousin It is Snoop Dogg.
Okay,
You know-
first of all,
Yeah.
who the fuck is Cousin It? I don't know.
Okay. That you know the Addams Family.
Oh, I do know the Addams Family. It's Morticia,
Uh-huh.
Gomez,
Yep.
Wednesday.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. How many of the Addams do you know?
Pugly?
That's close. Do you know the uncle?
Garraway.
No.
Uncle Garraway
No.
of the Uncle Garraway Adams?
I don't think that's his name, no.
Are you sure? Hello, and welcome to Late to School, a sky-high watchcast. What's wrong? Why are you laughing at that? That's just the normal, that's the intro.
Yeah, no reason. Go on. Keep
Go
doing
on?
Keep doing the intro.
Okay. I was really hoping you would maybe correct me so I could say what we're actually watching.
A My Hero Academia watchcast.
That's the one.
Actually.
Yeah.
But it's sky high.
It's been a while since not as long as it had been. It's been a while since we started a season, so I'm not sure how to do this anymore.
For one thing, you're Lorena.
I'm Lorena.
Who am I?
I'm Zach.
Wait, no.
I'm Zach.
No, that's mine.
No, it's mine now. I took it from you.
No. That's my one.
You're Zach.
I'm Zach.
We sound the same, so no one will know. Like, I said I'm Zach, and people will be like, oh yeah, that's Zach.
I don't think we sound the same anymore.
Okay.
I think I've listened to enough episodes of our podcast to be able to tell the differences in our voices.
Okay. So this is a new season of Late to School.
Mm-hmm.
We should explain the premise of this podcast for
Yes.
people who are coming in for the first time. Mm-hmm. This is so you don't watch anime.
I don't watch anime.
You didn't watch anime.
Before this podcast, I did not watch anime.
You had watched one episode of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and some Ghibli movies.
Yes.
Now
that was right before we started that podcast also.
Yes.
So.
Now you've watched Sailor Moon and Flip Flappers, an anime no one's heard of.
So the premise of the podcast is you educating me on the nature of anime, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why we've moved on now to we've moved from one of the most popular classic animes to an anime that 5 people have watched to this, which is a very popular modern anime.
Yeah. Also is a genre we have not covered yet.
Yes.
This is a shonen.
Mm-hmm.
So
up to this point we've been doing shoujo, right? Like magical girl anime.
Sailor Moon is shoujo. Flip Flappers is seinen. Seinen. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I really should know. Which is just anime for college, basically.
Okay, anime for college.
I think it's
that could also be the name of our podcast.
Yeah, I think it's mostly targeted at men usually.
Okay.
So My Hero Academia.
Yes,
this is an anime.
Yes. I've heard of it. I've now watched one episode, which we'll talk about.
It is based on a manga that was written by Kohei Horikoshi.
Okay. It
was published in Weekly Shonen Jump, which is the biggest shonen manga magazine in Japan.
Right. I've heard of... I only learned about Shonen Jump from Jump Force, the video game.
Right.
The crossover video game.
So, Goku.
Yeah.
Luffy.
Yep.
That's his name, right?
Naruto.
Yeah. Nault and his son Bolt.
The one with the big demon man, Death Note. That's the one.
Yeah.
His name is Death Note, right? That's the big demon guy.
I think his name is Willem Dafoe.
Oh, okay.
The manga started on July 7th, 2014.
Okay.
And the anime adaptation began April 3rd, 2016.
Pretty recent.
It is, because it's ongoing, directed by Kenji Nagasaki for the first 3 seasons, at least. And it was written by, adapted by Yosuke Kuroda.
Okay.
With music by Yuki Hayashi. And produced by Studio Bones, who do a lot of, high-quality anime production.
Okay.
And it was licensed and dubbed by Funimation for English release.
Okay. Didn't we done a Funimation one before? Or do I just know that name from...
You probably just know that name because they're, one of the biggest anime licensing companies.
Okay.
I don't think we've watched an anime yet that was dubbed by Funimation.
Okay.
So today we're just going to be watching the first episode of the show, Izuku Midoriya Origin, which, of course, aired April 3rd, 2016, in Japanese. It had a simulcast. I don't remember if it had a simul dub, but, when it aired in Japan, if you were in, America or Canada, maybe, I don't know how anime regional stuff works. If you were outside of Japan, for the most part, you could just go onto Crunchyroll and watch it the same day.
Okay.
I don't know if that was true for the dub, but it did air on Toonami, I believe, in English, May 5th, 2018.
Toonami still existed in 2018?
It still exists now.
Does it?
Yeah.
I know nothing about
it
television. It had
a huge revival at some point.
Okay.
Fairly recently. And by that I mean a few years ago.
Okay. Huh. I wonder if they still have that little weird mascot that's like a little silver Mickey head or whatever it was.
I have no idea.
I think that's what that was anyway.
So this first episode.
Yeah.
It starts.
Sky high.
It starts with
It starts with a sad boy.
A sad boy who is standing in front of a boy who is, beaten up.
Yes.
And he is yelling at another boy, a trio of boys, but he is yelling at the leader of the trio, who he calls Kachan.
There's a lot of boys so far in this anime, which I'm super not used to in the anime I've watched so far.
Fair. This sad boy is yelling at Kachan to stop being so mean. And... The sad boy is he's got very messy, spiky black hair with green highlights.
Yes.
The boy he is yelling at is this blonde boy who looks like a delinquent.
Yes. And the boy he's defending doesn't seem to have he's not main anime character material.
No.
He's clearly just kind of a background character, unfortunately. And basically, sad green boy, which is what I'm going to call him from now on, is crying and telling him to stop picking on this other kid, and the delinquent boy is not having it, and insults the sad green haired boy for not having a quirk. And we also see this trio of boys sort of manifest their abilities. I think one of them, his hair starts to grow in tendrils.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm thinking of another character later. I'm not sure.
Yeah, or something like that.
They all manifest weird powers, and Kachan does fucking energy in his hands, I'm pretty sure.
It's an explosion.
It's an explosion? Okay. And also Kachan calls the sad boy Deku.
Which means, fool or coward or something like that.
Okay. Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay. And we don't really see the resolution of that scene.
No.
But we can assume that Deku got the shit kicked out of him by these superpowered delinquent boys. And then we see the present.
Yeah.
We see a now 14-year-old.
Yeah, he's dressed in a middle school uniform.
Yeah. Izuku.
I don't remember if his name shows up on screen or if we learn it later. It does.
I remember. Yes, it's there's a splash.
Okay.
Where it zooms in on his face.
Yeah. Izuku Midoriya.
I wanted to ask, is that a pun?
Why?
Because I know the word Midori means green.
Oh, it probably is. You're right.
And he has like greenish hair.
Yeah.
And he sort of monologues to himself about how not all men are created equal.
Yeah. We get like basically an info dump montage.
Yes. Well, we don't get that quite yet, but,
right?
But he talks about people have superpowers, and they're called quirks, and I don't, but I still want to be a superhero.
Yeah. And
we also see him sort of in a crowd that's gathered around a super big fucking supervillain guy with a shark face, who is causing havoc on a train track.
Yeah.
And then we get the opening.
Right. Yes, the opening. The opening, titled The Day.
The Day.
Which was written and performed... Did you notice this watching the episode? Or did you miss it?
I don't know what you're referring to, so I probably missed it.
Written and performed by a group called Porno Graffiti.
Okay.
That's all I got. That's all I got about that. It's a good song.
It's a good song by a band with a bad name.
We see a lot of characters in the opening that we're not going to meet for a while.
Yeah. I recognized a lot of them.
Yeah.
I picked up some stuff from Cultural Osmosis on My Hero Academia, but yeah, it's a good song. It's, fun opening, I guess.
Yeah.
I do like the there's a lot of comic book style.
Yeah.
Like when they show the title of the episode.
Yeah.
It's in a very sort of comic book, like this bright, bold red font on this yellow exploding background. Very dynamic. And then we get that info.
Right.
For real this time.
And basically, like, there was a glowing baby a long time ago in China, and people were like, what the fuck? But then suddenly a bunch of people had weird powers.
Yeah.
And now, like, over 80%?
Yes.
I can't remember the exact number.
I think about 80% or over 80%.
Of the population have quirks,
which is
powers.
A fucking lot of people.
And because of that, why not superheroes? Why not do the superhero stuff?
Yeah, they explain it in like an impressive amount of detail, I think.
Yeah.
Not like a ton of detail, but like they try to justify their premise in this sort of opening info dump with like standard police force and law enforcement couldn't handle supervillains, like the influx of supervillains.
Right.
And then so actual costume superheroes just started showing up to to try to help deal with it. And now it's just like a sort of a celebrity deal.
Yeah.
Like people, they don't have like actual jobs, it seems like, so they kind of live and die by their
superhero fame.
Yeah.
I think being a superhero in this world is an actual job, is the thing.
Right, but it's like being a celebrity.
Yes.
Like you have to, if you can't charge a bunch for like interviews and shit, then you don't make any money.
Back in the present.
Yes.
The Shark Man.
Yes.
Is tearing shit up. I think we see Izuku like watching very excitedly.
Yes.
And an old man with like fins on his face next to him.
Yeah.
Is like, I know what you are, a fanboy.
And we see a bunch of heroes show up.
Yeah. There's a guy who's like a firefighter man with a weird face.
Yes, Backdraft.
Yeah, and his arms are fire hoses, and he like forms a caution line.
I do really like so far the superhero names in this are cool.
I forget what the big guy with the like punchy fists.
Yeah, I think it's just Death Arm.
Death Arms or something like that.
I think his name is Death Arms.
Also, there's a man made of wood.
Yes,
named Kamui Woods.
Kamui Woods. What does that mean? Does Kamui mean something? Like
shit. I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
I used to know what Kamui meant, but I don't remember.
I've heard it before. Isn't that also Korin's Japanese name in Fire Emblem?
Korin Fire Emblem's Japanese name is Kamui.
Okay. We got our first Fire Emblem reference into the first season. Now it's a season of Late to School.
But they fight the monster.
Yes.
Not monster, it's a man. It's a person.
He's a man.
And I don't remember how we learned this, but someone's like, he robbed someone and then he got cornered and just fucking decided to tear up shit.
Just hulked out.
And
unless he's just always like that. It's possible.
We get some bits from Izuku where he's like info dumping on the various pro heroes' powers.
Yes.
And
also their like status. Because like he talks about how Kamui Woods is like kind of an up and coming hero.
Right. And they are about to defeat the monster.
Yes.
Kamui Woods is about to use a super special attack that he calls the name of.
Which is written down here on this summary, which is Lacquered Chains Prison.
Okay, yeah, that sounds right.
A pretty cool name.
There's a bit where he starts shouting it, and then Izuku very excitedly is like, "Oh shit!" and he like shouts it simultaneously. But before he can do that,
yes,
a fucking comet comes in from the sky.
A comet made of foot.
And
just kicks him in the face.
Smashes the criminal aside. And
it's a giant woman.
A giant woman is here named Mount Lady, and a bunch of gross dudes start taking pictures of her butt. And probably other stuff. It's gross. It's real bad.
Mount Lady seems cool.
She's cool though, yeah. Izuku seems kind of disappointed that Kamui didn't get to finish the villain off.
Yeah, and Kamui is also disappointed with that.
But Izuku starts taking notes about Mount Lady because she's apparently a new hero.
Yeah.
And that's like basically the end of the scene.
The guy with fins on his face makes fun of Deku some more, or Izuku some more.
Yeah. Izuku's voice actor, by the way.
Yeah.
Izuku's voice actors are, in English, Justin Briner, who has a list of roles, who has has a not insignificant number of roles, none of which were from things I recognized, or characters I recognized, or stuff I thought other people might recognize, unfortunately. So I don't really, I can't really, list stuff for him, unfortunately. I like him a lot. He's
he seems pretty good. And he some of his line deliveries give me, Anthony Del Rio vibes occasionally.
That's fair.
And I really like Anthony Del Rio's voice acting. So.
And his Japanese voice actor is Daiki Yamashita, who is Hero in Dragon Quest Builders. And also Gurio Umino in Sailor Moon Crystal.
Oh, okay. Huh. That's not a Melvin I know, but it is a Melvin.
Yeah. But we cut from that scene to middle school. He is in class, and his teacher, who looks like the most bored teacher to ever live, is basically talking about career goals.
Yeah.
And then there's a beat, and he's like, "Who am I kidding? I know you all want to go to the hero course." And all the kids in the classroom start cheering and showing off their quirks. There's a really gross kid who his eyeballs just fucking extend from his skull, and I hate him.
There's a kid whose face just becomes a weird pointy mask.
His face might always be like that.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
And at this point, I'm thinking about the fucking logistics of this universe so far.
Don't worry, the show thinks about it a lot too.
Okay. And I'm just at this point, there must be so few people who just want to, do normal shit. And we kind of need people to do normal shit.
It's weird, because,
this entire classroom wants to be heroes.
Throughout the show, we will see a lot of people who are just doing normal shit and who have quirks.
Okay.
And, it's generally, okay, lots of people want to be heroes. Not a lot of people have quirks that are useful for that.
Okay.
And so, like, all these kids, these kids are kids.
Yeah.
Of course they want to be superheroes and not, like, librarians.
Uh-huh.
But it seems like, there's a testing process, there's exams and stuff you have to pass, and if you don't have a good enough quirk, you probably won't pass them.
Okay.
There are also, like, support heroes, though, that we'll see later, who have, like, quirks that aren't suited for combat, but still...
Mm-hmm. I mean, Backdraft seems like he might have been one of those.
Uh-huh.
Because Izuku even calls him, like, a rescue specialist.
Right.
Which is heroic, but not in a fighting villains kind of way.
Right.
And the teacher does tell them all to stop using their quirks in class, because it's not allowed.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And then, this fucking guy, again, Kachan is back.
Yeah, uh-huh.
The Katsuki Bakugo.
Nope.
Bakugo?
No.
Bakugo?
Katsuki Bakugo.
Bakugo. I got it on my second try.
Yeah. Katsuki Bakugan.
Yeah. He's now also older.
Uh-huh.
Because that's how time works.
That is how time works.
And he even looks even more like a shit. And he's even got his feet on his desk.
Uh-huh.
Like the most stereotypical possible delinquent.
Mm-hmm.
And he tells the teacher not to group him with all the other students wanting to be heroes.
Uh-huh.
Because he's obviously superior.
Yep.
And they yell at him.
Uh-huh.
And he just tells them to shut up.
Uh-huh. He says at this point that he fucking aced the mock exam.
Yes.
Which is
he aced every mock exam.
Yeah. Is the first sign we're gonna get that, like, Bakugo's kind of smart, despite being a shit.
Uh-huh. He's dedicated.
Bakugo's voice actors are Clifford Chapin, who is also, like, prolific, doesn't have a ton of characters that I recognized.
Okay.
I don't recognize this character because I don't watch the show, but it's a very popular show.
Uh-huh.
He's Connie Springer in Attack on Titan.
Oh, okay.
He's also Kawaru Nagisa in the Netflix dub of Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Oh, okay.
And Bakugo's Japanese voice actor is Nobuhiko Okamoto, who is, again, not a show I know.
Uh-huh.
I just know it's popular,
Uh-huh.
and this character showed up in a lot of stuff about the show.
Okay.
Rin Okamura in Blue Exorcist.
Okay.
And
I've never heard of that show.
Accelerator in a certain magical index / a certain scientific railgun / a certain scientific accelerator series, franchise, multimedia project.
Which we have talked about on the show
We
before,
have mentioned it before, yes. But
a certain scientific railgun.
Yeah, that's the only good one of those.
Okay. But yeah, so Bakugo
Mm-hmm.
is aiming to go to UA High School.
Yes.
Which is apparently a big, it's a superhero. It's Sky High.
Yeah.
It's Sky High.
Except not in the sky,
Except
unfortunately.
Sky. Which is, that's the best thing about Sky High is that it's called Sky High and it's a literal high school in the sky.
Yes.
That's just the coolest. That's just the best. It's the best part of it. Anyway.
Are you sure the best part isn't War and Peace?
Oh, damn, you're
War
right.
and Peace, aka Katsuki Bakugo?
Don't insult War and Peace like that.
Okay, alright.
How dare you?
Alright, fair. I'm just saying they both got explosion powers.
They do both have explosion powers.
They're both bad boys.
War and Peace has fire powers, which I feel like is distinct, but...
Fair.
An explosion is really just fast fire, if you think about it.
That's my favorite movie in the Fast and the Furious franchise.
Fast fire. And Bakugo boasts that he's going to be a greater hero than All Might. And then the teacher just very casually mentions, like, not even playing with Bakugo in his space of just being a boastful shit.
Mm-hmm.
He just casually mentions, doesn't Izuku also want to go to UA?
Yeah.
And the whole class then just turns around to stare at an embarrassed Izuku.
Mm-hmm.
And just laugh at him.
Mm-hmm.
Because he doesn't have a quirk.
Yeah.
So, can't
do it.
Can't be superhero.
Bakugo is furious, offended that Izuku would even consider being on the same level as him.
And fires an explosion at him.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Just in the middle of the classroom, which the teacher does not comment on.
No.
And Izuku tries to explain that he's not trying to compete or anything. It's just just wants to go to the same school.
Yeah, It's just been his dream since childhood.
And then Bakugo just says he's just gonna embarrass the school.
Mm-hmm.
And then we cut to another scene as Izuku is just kind of crying and cowering.
We cut to like a street, and there's a helpful caption that says, "The same city." 12:02 p.m. And we see a nasty slime man.
A nasty slime boy.
Just running through the streets.
Mm-hmm. With money, just dollar bills, or well, probably yen bills, I guess.
Yeah, they do look like American dollars more than they look like yen, which I think is just like the comic book influence on the show.
That makes sense. Just stuck into his body.
And we see a bunch of people on the sidewalk see the nasty slime man run past them.
Yes.
And they're like, wow, man, there's so many villains. No one can stop all these villains anymore.
They're all wondering, like, where are all the
heroes? Yeah,
where are the heroes at? And where are all the heroes gone? Where are all the gods?
We see the figure of a very, like, emaciated man.
A very skinny, lanky man.
Exit, like, a convenience store holding a bag. And as he overhears these people, he fucking shifts into buff mode. We see him shift into buffness.
And he says, in a deep, I don't know how to do boisterous, perhaps?
I think that's fair.
I feel like I'm using the word boisterous a lot in this so far. Because Bakugo was also boisterous.
No, but okay, fair.
Bakugo was more arrogant. Which are similar but different. The once skinny, now buff man, and also very tall man, now says that there is an end to villains, because I am here.
Yep. And then we cut.
We do see his face, I think.
I think so, yes.
With a big grinning face, with a lot of sharp shadows all over his body, denoting his muscles. And then we cut back to Izuku's middle school. We see Izuku, and he is grabbing his notebook that we've seen him writing notes in before, and reading about the Shark Man incident earlier on his phone.
Right.
And as he's about to go home, Bakugo approach, and then grabs his notebook and explodes it.
Yeah. He just fucking puts it in between both of his hands and slaps an explosion. And that upsets Izuku a lot. And then he throws it out the window, and that upsets Izuku even more. And Bakugo has these, like, two flunkies, basically. I don't know if they're the same kids, but...
Oh, yeah, from before.
Yeah.
They could be.
They're also shitty.
Yeah.
And making fun of Izuku.
They also have quirks, obviously, because I think Izuku is the only one in the class who doesn't.
Yeah.
And Izuku tries not to dignify Bakugo's taunts. And just tries to continue leaving. And then Bakugo says a really shitty thing.
Yeah. He tells Izuku that maybe he can be a hero. If he reincarnates with a quirk in his next life. So he should just, quote, take a swan dive off the roof. Which sucks.
Yeah.
Bakugo's not good.
No. War and Peace would never do that.
I guess War and Peace would, you're right, he would never say that.
And Izuku does get really mad at that. which is valid,
but
also is still very scared of Bakugo.
Yeah.
And can't do much about it.
No.
We see Izuku leaving, and he does find his notebook, which is now burnt.
And in a koi pond.
Being eaten by koi. And he says, "My dreams have turned to fish food," which is a very good line. And he gently shoos away.
He tells them to, alright, that's enough, give it back. And he takes his notebook.
And he recalls when it became his dream, when it was his dream to be
we get a flash. We get a very, starts out very cute flashback where it's Lil Izuku.
Yeah.
He rushes into, the living room of his home, and he just very excitedly tells his mom that it's computer time. And there's a very good, very frequently gifted bit where he is sitting in the computer chair with a big grin, just swinging back and forth as he waits for his mom to turn on the video he likes.
It's very good.
And
gotta stim.
His mom notes, I don't know why you like this video so much. It's pretty scary to me. But she does turn it on for him.
And we see that the video is of a sort of a disaster site, which was the debut of Izuku's favorite hero, All Might, who is the big guy,
the big man
we saw earlier.
He's saving a bunch of people from wreckage of some nondescript form.
Yeah, it's probably an earthquake or something.
Probably. I feel like they do explain what the disaster is later, but I don't remember.
There's a lot of rubble and stuff.
Yeah,
so.
He has a big grin on his face.
Yeah, and he's got 7 people. He's holding 7 different people at once, carrying them out of the rubble, and he's already apparently saved 100 people in 10 minutes. And Izuku just watches this with a massive grin on his face. And says that he wants to be just like All Might.
Yeah.
We see him holding a little All Might action figure. He's got All Might posters on his wall. And then we sort of hard cut to a doctor's office.
Yeah.
Where a doctor is telling Izuku and his mom that he doesn't have a quirk. Even though both of his parents do have quirks.
Yeah. His mom explains that she can float small objects towards herself.
Yes.
And her husband
can breathe fire.
Her husband, who we never see. Ever.
Really?
Ever.
Wow.
Just anime dads. They're never there. And the doctor's like, well, he should have gotten one of those quirks by now. And
or a combination of both, he mentions.
Yeah. And then there's some pseudo-medical explanation.
Yeah.
That's
I like that they tried.
It's it is very close to there are definitely real medical conditions where you can see signs of them by just complete nonsense.
Yes.
In this case, Izuku's pinky toe has 2 joints.
Yes, and people with quirks tend to have only one joint in their pinky toe. Because I do dislike the explanation for that he gives.
Right.
That it's because of evolution or some bullshit.
Yeah.
It's their streamlined stage of human evolution. Which, get out of here with that X-Men bullshit.
Izuku is crushed.
Yes.
And we get, there's, another hard cut to him sitting in the dark, watching the video, and his mom just sort of watching him from the doorway, and he spins his chair around, and is, completely sobbing, but trying to smile.
Yes, and explains how All Might, even when things get bad, is always smiling. It's he never loses hope. And he asks his mom if she thinks he can still be a hero even without a quirk.
And she just sort of rushes over and hugs him and says she's so sorry. And then Izuku's narration.
Yes. Well, one of the best lines, I think, in this episode that makes me one of the things that makes me the most interested in this narrative so far, I think, is Izuku's internal monologue saying, that isn't what I needed to hear.
Then we sort of cut back to the present as Izuku is walking, like, near an overpass.
Yes.
And still staring at his fucked up notebook. And he basically, like, resolves to keep smiling, just like All Might.
Yeah.
And there is a very cute bit where he, like, starts marching down the Overlook tunnel, just laughing. But then,
the slime boy,
the slime man, emerges from the sewers,
and is like, "You will be my skin suit," or some bullshit. That. It's pretty much that.
It just fucking I keep saying it. This is a man.
This is a man.
Despite being a slime man, is a man.
Yeah.
Grabs Izuku.
Do you think he's a slime all the time, or like...
Probably. Okay. He's probably a slime all the time. He grabs Izuku, and in maybe one of the worst bits of animation in the show, not like in terms of quality, but just in terms of I want to retch, starts trying to enter and take over Izuku's body.
It's gross.
It's real gross.
And Izuku starts choking.
But then, from behind them, also emerging from the sewer, I am here.
It's All Might.
It's All Might.
And then he uses a special attack that he calls the name of course, as you are required to do. In both anime and comic books, I think you should be. Which is Texas Smash!
Yep, that's it.
Which is my favorite fighting game convention.
Is it? That seems like it would be a bad one to go to.
I mean, I'm pretty sure every fighting game convention is a bad one to go to for me.
That's fair.
So, but Texas Smash is his special punch move. Okay. We might find this out. Is All Might from Texas?
No. He's not from America either.
Just appropriating my culture.
He is like, yes, he is a Japanese man who really loves America.
Okay. Alright.
Despite being like I guess we don't know what color his eyes are really.
Yeah,
but he does have blonde hair.
He does have blonde hair.
Which is usually a signifier of being at least white in anime. But no.
Not always.
Not always. Usagi definitely is not white.
Yeah, also I don't think Mina is.
Probably not, no. Anyway. He smashes the slime man apart.
Smashes the slime man.
And Izuku is freed, and he gets a glimpse of All Might before just passing out.
And then he wakes up. And he's
in like a suburb now?
I don't think they're far from the overpass.
I guess
probably,
not.
But All Might has carried him. He's on just some pavement. Don't know why All Might didn't see fit to at least put him in the grass nearby or something. And All Might's here, and he apologizes for how long that took him. But this city's sewer system is unnavigable.
All Might's voice actors are Christopher Sabat, who is an extremely prolific voice actor.
Okay, the name sounds kind of familiar.
He has like 1 million roles.
Okay.
His most famous ones are Vegeta and Piccolo in Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
And a lot of other like Dragon Ball media.
All right.
And another big one is Zoro in One Piece.
Okay.
And I don't know how to pronounce this character's name because I haven't watched the show, but the big buff mustache man, Louis Armstrong?
Oh, yeah, from
Full Metal Alchemist,
right? Is he in both of them, or does it say Full Metal Alchemist or Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood?
I think only the first one.
Okay.
His Japanese voice actor is Ryo Horikawa, who is also Vegeta. He's also Dunban in Xenoblade Chronicles, and Captain Falcon in the Super Smash Brothers series.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
Is he? Because I don't think
Captain Falcon's voice is dubbed.
Okay, so that is just his voice in the American version. That's just
his voice in the American version, yeah. Because all his lines are in English anyway, so,
I mean, All Might has big Captain Falcon energy.
Yes, If you hear the Japanese version of Texas Smash, it sounds like Captain Falcon.
Just a Falcon Punch. That's cool.
Yeah.
But Izuku is very excited and tries to scramble for his notebook to ask All Might to sign it, and then opens his notebook and sees that All Might has already signed it, which has completely sold me on All Might as a character already.
Yes,
and also another thing that has sold me on All Might as a character is he's holding 2 soda bottles containing the slime villain.
Yes. He just emptied the soda that he bought from the supermarket and put the slime man in it. That's gotta suck to be separated like that. To just be like, I don't know what it's like to be a slime, but it probably sucks, right?
Yeah, probably. To be in multiple pieces at once.
Yeah. Also not sure how he's breathing. Maybe he doesn't have to.
Maybe he doesn't have to. But yeah, so All Might starts heading off, and Izuku internally monologues like, "Wait, no, I can't let him just leave. He's my idol. I have to ask him so many questions." But then All Might jumps and is flying, and then we see All Might sort of crane his neck around a bit as he's flying, and Izuku is clinging onto his leg as they're flying. And All Might is like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
He starts trying to shake him off and telling him to let go. And Izuku is like, "I can't, I'll die, we're in the air."
And then All Might is like, "Oh yeah, huh."
And he's like, "Well, I better find a place to put you." And as he, flies off, we see, a close-up of his face, which is, for the record, always smiling.
Always smiling.
Never not smiling.
Never loses hope.
He, when he closes his mouth while he's speaking, it's just his teeth clanking together. But he is bleeding from the mouth.
Yes.
And he just sort of internally is like, shit.
Yes. That is literally the quote. That is what he says, literally.
And we, cut to them having landed on a building.
All Might tells him to just bang on the door of the roof door and eventually someone will come pick him up. Which is also really funny. But Izuku demands he stay so he could ask him a question.
Well, first he reaches out and is like, "Hey, wait," and then sort of stops for a moment and remembers Bakugo telling him he's useless.
Yes.
The doctor telling him he doesn't have a quirk.
His mom just apologizing to him.
And then he just sort of weakly stops. But then he, regains his composure, his resolve.
And he asks if someone who doesn't have a quirk could still be a hero like him. And then All Might sort of slowly turns back, and the episode ends.
Yeah.
And then next time on...
Well, we get the ending theme.
Oh, right, true, yes.
We get the ending theme, which is Heroes. It's just called Heroes.
Okay.
It's by a band called Brian the Sun. And now, here's the problem. I could not find any information on them, because their Wikipedia page only exists in Japanese.
Okay.
So...
That's a shame.
Yeah.
But far, far better name for a band.
Far better name than Porno Graffiti.
Is that... Okay, to be clear, is that Sun like S-O-N or S-U-N?
S-U-N.
Okay, good. Perfect.
Next time, though.
Next time, All Might narrates the next time on. And he's like... I can't remember exactly what he says. I should have wrote it down. We're sort of out of practice for doing next time ons, I feel like.
Yeah.
He talks about how there's a boy, and he's being corrupted or some shit by a villain. and it's the slime villain. We see the slime villain again.
Yeah.
But All Might can't stay in his powered form for much longer.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, find out next time what's gonna happen.
So yeah, that's the first episode of My Hero Academia. Again, that's the only one we're going to be watching this week, because it sets up a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
So...
This is your first shonen, really.
Yes.
You watched one episode of Full Metal Alchemist again, but that's not really... I mean, that is a shonen.
I'm intrigued so far. I've enjoyed... Like, okay... The characters are interesting to me so far, I think. There's really only 3 of them.
There's only 3 of them, which is, like, okay. For this first episode, that makes sense. You know, you just want to introduce Izuku, All Might, and Bakugo, because they're, like, sort of the 3 central pillars of the show.
Right.
As will become clear. There's so many more characters.
Yeah.
And we won't meet them for, like, 3 more episodes.
Okay.
Like, literally, the opening, half of the animation in the opening is just showing off other characters.
That we'll never see.
We will see.
We will see.
But,
not,
you know.
Not soon. So, I really like Izuku so far.
Yes.
I like his conflict. I like that he cries a lot. And
he really does,
A lot of the time, it's not played for a joke.
It is in some unfortunate circumstances where I think it shouldn't be, but yeah.
I think that, like, that's always endearing to me.
Yeah.
Like, his male characters who cry a lot, and, like, he doesn't feel, he's not, like, okay. I was about to say he's not the standard shonen protagonist, but I don't know jack shit about the standard shonen protagonist.
Yeah,
he's not my impression of what I've picked up about a standard shonen protagonist. He doesn't seem to have the personality I picked up on, like, from Naruto or Ash Ketchum.
We'll see more of. He does want to get stronger to be a hero. Like, that is going to be a thing in the show.
But he wants, like. Right now, he wants to be a hero. Like, his thing seems to be, like, it's not even, like, the glory part of it. He wants to help people.
Yeah.
Like, we see that is set up from the very beginning of, like, him protecting a bullied kid. And Bakugo, who really also wants to be a hero, quote-unquote, but literally only wants it for the fame and recognition and doesn't care about other people.
Yeah, Izuku is, like, there's some definite comparisons you can make between him and, like, a character like Goku.
Okay.
But Izuku ends up being, we'll see more of, like, he has a lot more emotional intelligence than Goku does.
Okay. I mean, not a high bar from what I've seen.
Yeah. But... and yeah, he cries a lot. He's not just, like, a big manly dude.
Yeah.
Which
and
is nice.
It also seems to be that's not what he wants to be.
Right.
He wants to be like All Might in that he wants to help people and give people hope and inspire people the way All Might inspired him. Which is really cool.
Yeah.
And All Might seems really fun.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something about All Might, actually? He's in skinny form.
Yeah.
I have seen that character before.
Okay.
I have seen him in skinny form before. And I've obviously seen All Might in, like, his All Might form. I had, like, no fucking idea those were the same character.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I had no clue that guy was also All Might.
That's amazing.
So I just saw that silhouette, and I was like, oh, hey, it's that guy. And then he became All Might, and I was like, what the fuck?
That's great.
So there is apparently one less character in this show than I thought there was.
Okay.
And All Might is just fun. He seems fun, and, like, the I am here thing is really fun. And Bakugo is interesting to me.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Like, I hate him.
I hate him, too.
I utterly despise him. He's the shittiest... I don't like when he's on screen so far, which is not something I can say for a lot of characters that interest me. One would think if they interest me, I would want to see them on the screen. But he interests me because of how he reflects Izuku, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I wanted to talk about, like, theme-wise, like, that starting point of Izuku saying, it turns out not all men are created equal.
Yeah.
That was, first of all, interesting to me because I wonder what that's translated from.
Yeah.
Because, like, that's a very American phrasing.
Yeah, I have no idea. I haven't actually watched the show with, like, subs at all. So I've just, like, watched clips of All Might without any subtitles.
Okay, just to hear Captain Falcon. But it seems like there's very easily bad ways you could go with that thematic phrasing.
Yeah.
But I hope that that's maybe talking about in an abstract sense privilege and like some people do just get more than others. Like if you have a quirk, you're just luckier than others.
Right.
In the same way in real life, if you're born to wealth or whatever,
right,
like you're luckier than others. And I would hope it's, I mean, this is standard superhero shit, but, great power comes with great responsibility.
Right.
If you have a quirk, you owe it to people to use it to help people.
It also gets weird, though, because, like, in America, in a lot of the real world, the wealthy are not a large percentage of the population.
No.
In this show, people with quirks are 80% or so of the population.
Yes. Which Izuku is both literally and sociologically a minority.
Yeah. Which is weird.
Yeah.
But, like, okay, racial minorities definitely do not have it great in a lot of places. In probably all places. But I don't know. It's weird. I mean, even even from what I understand, I'm not like an expert on foreign racial politics, so take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt. From what I've picked up from people who have talked about this issue, like white people in Japan, for example, still have it pretty good. Yeah.
Like, because of imperialism mainly, and like, white people pretty much everywhere still have it pretty good. Like, there's not many places, if any, where white people are actually an oppressed minority.
Right. And also in Japan, like, black immigrants to Japan still face discrimination.
Yes.
Darker-skinned Japanese people in Japan face discrimination. Korean people, Chinese people all face discrimination in Japan. So like, racial minority politics exist in Japan, so it is not inconceivable that this could be a metaphor for that.
Right. But again, my point was, like, white people are a minority in Japan in the sense of they're a literal minority.
Right.
I don't think they're a sociological minority.
Right, yeah.
Because fucking sociology decided that minority is just anyone who is oppressed, basically, is a victim of the hierarchy. And so now we have to be fucking careful with our words here.
People in poverty are a minority despite making up a large portion of the population.
But yeah, I'm curious to see how the show handles that. It could very easily go badly. It could, like, which is true of a lot of superhero narratives, I think. Like, you gotta, especially nowadays, you gotta toe a fine line with superhero narratives, I feel like. Because it's so easy when you have so many really shitty ideologies that are based on hero worship and things like that.
And, like,
the idea of some people being born better than others.
Some people are genetically superior to others.
Again, see Sky High. I love the movie. It's got some fucking problems.
But yeah, I don't want to say definitively how the show handles it, just because I want you to like discover that for yourself.
And it's cool. Like, I like just like, oh, this random background guy just has some fins on his face.
Yeah, I like seeing that stuff. Like, all the people in Izuku's class are so unique.
Yes.
And there's a lot of that in the show. There's, like, also, like, the art style for the show. Like, every character is drawn in a different art style, basically. Not, like, they aren't really, but, like, there's barely any same face in the show.
Yeah.
Even for the female characters who get, like, a little bit closer to same face, they're still, like, unique. They have different shaped eyes. Their faces are drawn differently with different styles.
I noticed that, like, they very easily could have, there's some scenes where both Izuku and Bakugo are in profile on screen at the same time, and I noticed, like, just the shape of their nose is different.
Yeah, yeah.
And I liked little details like that make characters that much more distinct. Bakugo is a little bit more of a pointy boy.
He is very pointy.
And I I feel like you could do a whole fucking, like, top 10 coolest non-speaking background characters in this show. Because there's been so many already, and I'm guessing there's gonna be more.
Yeah.
So I'm intrigued. I love things with just, like, a lot of people have, like, different cool powers. Or lame powers.
Like floating objects very slowly towards you.
Or breathing fire. Both of which she points out are useful, she says.
I mean, floating objects towards you, that's pretty useful.
That's pretty useful. I wish I had that. I constantly wish I had
Breathing
that.
fire would be useful if you were a hero.
Yeah.
But it does not seem like Izuku's dad is. It seems like, given that he's not around, perhaps he is a businessman.
Maybe. Does he use it for cooking? Does he like to grill? Dads like to grill, in my experience. So it's possible he... You know, you don't need propane, I guess. Just fucking...
Yeah,
right on the coals.
Anything else you wanted to talk about?
I don't know if there is, actually.
Okay.
I'm intrigued. I like it so far. It's fun. The comic book aesthetic is really fun. All Might definitely is a different art style, he feels like.
Yeah.
I did want to say that.
We haven't gotten a good look at his skinny form.
Yeah.
You've seen it, obviously, as you said, but, like, that form and his muscle form are so different.
Yes. Just, like, the way the shadows work on his body is completely different in his muscle form than any of the other characters.
Yeah.
Which is it makes him stand out really well.
Yeah.
It also gives him, like, a very distinctive look. Also his hair.
His weird hair.
Antenna hair.
His fucking antenna. I don't like his hair. I like All Might. Okay. I don't like his hair.
Really? Okay.
I like his hair more in his skinny form.
Okay.
Anyway, if that's all.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. As always, you can find me at Lorena27 on Twitter.
And you can find me at Frylord Zarek on Twitter.
And you can find the show at late_school. And thank you to Soichi Sakagami for our new theme for this season.
Yeah.
True. Find out more about Soichi Sakagami, go to tandesk.com. Go beyond!
Plus Ultra!
Go beyond.
Wait.
We're just going to do it. We're just going to do the thing. Go beyond.
Plus Ultra. Does he say that?
He says go beyond.
Oh,
okay.
Plus Ultra. I thought it was just Plus Ultra. Plus Ultra.
Hold on.
It's our first one.
We need a friend. Okay. You just want to leave that whole thing in there?
We could do a real one and then put that as the stinger.
Yeah.